Thanks guys for joining today for our next great B2B e-commerce website roast. We're super excited to get started. All right, let's get everything going here. Introduce Andy Clark. Andy, do you want to introduce yourself for us, please?
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Andy Clark. I apparently haven't figured out how the mute button works yet, so there we go. I'm in Temecula, which is about 60 miles due north of San Diego. I've been here at Magento 3.5 years. For that, as it says, 10 years with a few different e-commerce startups and 10 years in telecom before that, so I've been around the block. I am also a cyclist, a guitarist, a father of two, and a content creator. I have a little YouTube channel on the side. So I have been working with Bluefish about a year now, and we came up with this idea kind of as a response to what's going on in the world right now. And we just wanted to like create a series and create some content that was generally helpful and wasn't too heavy-handed and very sales pitchy. So we hope that you learned something today, that it's beneficial, and that you find this helpful and that you come back next time.
Great. And we have Jasmine. Can you tell us a little bit?
I came to e-commerce and digital marketing via way of entertainment design, experience design, and interactive design, and how it pertains to the user. So I tend to have a longer look as to what the user was expecting when they got there, what they had the experience, and then what they received on the back end. That's why I have the most fun title, because they let me, you know, pick my own, and that's what you get.
And I'm Tria Foster. I am a solution architect and the e-commerce practice lead here at Bluefish. I've been with Bluefish about a little over a year. Actually was here about 10 years ago and came back home. And in between times, I've had 25 years of experience in e-commerce and had the opportunity to lead large companies like Kendra Scott. I was early on with them and was a VP of e-commerce for Kendra Scott, and then also had the opportunity to work with companies like, you know, Lenovo, Under Armour, Burton Snowboard, some really fun companies. And what I like about what I do is I get to kind of straddle that line between e-commerce and the marketing side. And, you know, I mean, let's be realistic. That's kind of, we have to these days, right? If you build it, doesn't necessarily mean they will come. So it's kind of fun to actually have the opportunity to be a part of the e-commerce space and also part of the marketing space. And I'm super excited about what we're going to talk about today, which leads me to, yes, like Andy said, you know, our goal is to provide some basically snackable content. We're going to try to just dive into a website in a really fun way, take a look at it from a UI perspective. That's our goal this time, is just look at what the user interface looks like, how does it navigate, all of those kind of fun things. You know, we're kind of using our experience here so that hopefully you're going to learn a little bit of something just based on kind of our background and our knowledge. So let me reveal who we're going to. I'm going to an incognito window because I've been Googling the site way too many times. So the company's name is Engenuity. So first things first. Conflict, right. So when I'm looking for the site, if you tell somebody about the site or you're taking a look and you just do a Google search, I'm finding a lot of other things. Quite frankly, my daughter uses this site, but the Ingenuity site is not there, and I keep scrolling. Jasmine, are you seeing it? I'm not seeing it
yet. Did we spell it right?
No, it thinks that we spelled it incorrectly. But we actually did spell it correctly.
I knew spelled it right, guys. I just was pretending I was lost.
So let me go to the real site. Maybe there's an opportunity there for some SEO. Definitely, when you're searching, you want to make sure that your site comes up when you're in Google. Not going to go into that today.
Direct name match should be a little easier to find, at least on first page, second page, because it's not. I don't feel like it's a heavily competitive word. Though you do seem to have some educators after you for Engenuity.
True, true. So here's our site. Before we kind of jump in, one of the tools that we like to use around here is Built With, just to kind of see what the site, how, like, where's their platform? What are they built on? So we can kind of scroll down. They are using Google Analytics, which is great. They are a Magento. They're a Magento 1. So, you know, that's a little bit older version, but I'm sure that there's a plan in place there. Let's do a little bit more. So we've got some WordPress plugins, some Facebook sharing. So some basics here. We are missing probably some things that we could be doing from a marketing perspective. But I mean, you know, overall, like we're on Magento, great platform. So let's talk about the home page. What's your first, like, what are you thinking, Jasmine?
Well, I don't think I reached a website. I don't know where I'm really, maybe a library system, something. Now, obviously this is just a COVID response. They probably threw this up there. And now that we've kind of passed into the initial shock and error of COVID, you can actually start covering these with a small button in the top where you're able to just click through to any COVID questions you might have. But at this point, kind of over it.
Right. I mean, your homepage is important. It should tell something about who you are, give a story at least. Most people are going to necessarily land on your homepage unless you've given them your direct URL or they found you through Google. They'll probably be landing on some other pages that we'll talk about a little bit. But as we scroll down, so we've got a little bit of it enables smart and some product information.
This feels like a fragment.
Mm-hmm.
It enables smart, but it doesn't, it's like a fragment with a cliff, because I'm still not sure what they do. If you go up to the very top, the logo doesn't really tell you, the header doesn't really tell you, COVID response doesn't really tell you, this picture, if you scroll back down, doesn't really tell you, sorry.
Right.
I mean, this picture is one of these very classic stock photography photos about connectivity. So they might be selling the internet, they might be selling broadband, cell phone service, maybe a booster.
If you scroll down, you can get a little bit more. I mean, like, see what's kind of going on here, right? But like, are these are these the products that sell the most? I mean, I'm not quite sure about why they're featured, right?
And I'm one of those people that is more of the opinion that a homepage is really your About Us page, because no one comes to the homepage unless you force them into that funnel, especially on B2B.
Good point. So let's look at it.
Oh, all right. What do we got in the About Us?
Let's go for it. More. Absolutely.
Okay, now I like this. Connecting parts with smarts makes a lot more sense to me. And I like, and if you paired that with the logo, Engenuity Systems, connecting parts with smarts. Now I'm starting to see there's like a thing. You guys are building things, like these things seem to work together better for me.
So from like how it looks, what would you, I mean, like, would you put it up here? Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah. Connecting parts with smarts. That's why I know why I'm here. Like, that's what I'm here to do. I'm trying to connect things. I'm creating a universe of some kind. And maybe that's what that connective photo was more about.
Very hooky.
I like
logo.
that.
It's very good.
Yeah, for sure. And it just having
a
little bit more right here, something like Engenuity Systems connects, parts with smarts. Just something up here so you know that you're in the right space, right?
Yeah, and that's why I mentioned library, because I saw a ruler. You've already got an education group that's really got your name under control, like with the education. Now you got a ruler, and you got a lot of COVID. So maybe clearing that up, parts with smarts. I know smarts still might be educational, but it still does speak to kind of building technology, some kind of connectivity.
Parts with smart technology. I mean, there's opportunity there for sure. So let's dive in a little bit, because I know we only have a little bit of time here. So let's talk a little bit about navigation. And I just feel like I want to start the category stuff. So let's kind of dive in there. This is kind of interesting.
So it seems that these people they do sell something. So these must be the parts that connect the smarts.
True. The controllers, the switches, right?
Okay.
I mean, you get
the parts with smarts. I get it now. Got it.
Now, what about the icons here? What do you think? What's your feel?
Well, I really like these icons. I'm usually not a fan of clip art, but it looks like, I don't know if they were able to get a designer to make them all these icons. You can see there's a lot of them. They all match. They're not, you know, they're all matching the brand color and style. They seem to be very representative of the actual object. They're not trying to be like the whisper of a ghost of an idea of the object. I
Yeah, it's
hate
some of the
that
best
stuff.
iconography I've seen. It's really good.
It really is. It's sharp. I mean, so I mean, and I'm interested to find out though if they're using it throughout the entire site, which would be interesting. And I would say, like, there's under controllers, there's some information here, but we don't have information around the rest of them. I think
Feeling kind of lonely.
Yeah, I would say either do it for all or do it for none.
Yeah, I feel like the icons can stand alone and can kind of do without the redundancy of the words and hyperlinks below them.
The hyperlinks are just duplicates.
It's going to get people deeper into the page.
For sure.
Deeper into the site, I mean.
I like that. So let's look at the controllers. Let's go into there.
Cool. They look just like the icons, so I'm already happy.
Yeah. Well, but, I mean, would it be kind of cool to keep, I mean, like at least keep the icon there somewhere? Like, let's just kind of just follow it through. Something along those lines might be interesting. You're definitely seeing the controllers here. There's an opportunity. I like the fact that you can actually shop by category. You can shop by manufacturer. The price, I like that too. What you thinking here though, Jasmine?
Well, I've never been a fan of the radio button situation because I always feel like if it's $1 off my $199.99 and it's the better option, I don't know. I always wish you could pick a range. Like if you could pick 2 or 3 of those and not just one, because the better option might be $1 cheaper. So I'd rather build up than just be these segmented rows.
I'm struggling a little bit too, though, with it's like 0 to almost 1,000, and all the products are really in that category. So it's like, true.
It's not really a helpful category.
Okay.
You're right. There's only 3 or what is it? 35. You know, there's very few products under $1,000. So I mean, over $1,000.
So search. Let's talk about that. So like, you know, we're on the category page. That's great. We can dive into this. Like, there's a save for later. There's an add to compare. What happened? I guess what would happen? So these look pretty similar. I guess from an add to compare for this kind of site, I would be interesting to see the analytics behind this. So, and you can do that, right? Like you can put something in place so that you can actually measure how many times are people actually putting save for later or add to compare. But let's do that. I mean, for this site, it kind of seems like that might be something that people might want to do. So let's just kind of do that really quickly so that we can compare. And let's just see what happens. So we have them up here. I like that.
Oh,
and then I compare.
That's where they get. Okay. Right. Okay.
Pulls up another page.
I wondered where they were going to go because sometimes people drop them all the way to the bottom. So
right. I actually like how that works right there. It's kind of nice. And you can bring it up here. You can actually see the differences. Not sure that there's much difference in the short description. So maybe that would be something that could be added because one is clearly, you know, almost $50 more. So that's something to just consider when you're actually taking a look at that. Maybe the people who are looking at, they might actually know exactly.
I feel like engineers know the difference.
I think probably.
It's just going to come down to that. The model number is slightly different. So I don't know if one is like the more updated version of that same model number, or if you're trying to replace an exact model number.
Absolutely. Well, let's do the site search. So I'm actually kind of interested. Search is I would assume a huge part of the site, and if people are coming to the site, they want to be able to search. They want to be able to find what they want pretty quickly. So let me just search for controller here. And I know I'm on that category, but just curious what happens here. Well, this is interesting. Log in to add to cart.
The other one's
have to actually available. Yeah, I have to log in to actually see the price.
Oh, that one's special. The other ones you can see the prices, but not that one.
I know. Maybe it's that's kind of it's just interesting. There may be a reason behind it. Maybe it's something that's put together and it requires different pieces. I don't know. That's kind of interesting from that perspective. Let's see. Let me actually, let's go look at it.
Let's see a product page.
Go in there. Totally with you. Well, let's go to when we actually see a price. Let's do that. How about that? All right.
Cool.
Look, I still have my comparison up over here and my recently viewed.
Now
So I
this
can
is
always go
super
back.
clean. I'm sorry. This is super clean to me. So I'm not seeing like any other exits. I clearly know what I'm doing. You can download the document data sheet. If anything, the add to cart button should be at the top of the page there.
Yeah, you have to scroll.
Yeah, you can have it right under the price. Just put that add to cart button. Just, you know, you
Make
want
it
it,
easy.
don't make me scroll. Let's go
You're
down
totally
again
right.
and see if they've got any
What's this?
additional
I wonder.
information. Oh, well, maybe we can email them to see if they have anything in stock.
Email it to a friend.
Okay. You cannot email this to a friend. You must fill out a form.
I mean, yeah, that seems like that's either just remove it unless they need it, or definitely don't make them go through that kind of a
This is where you have a form. Yeah, you have a form on your website that you're trying to make people fill out, yet at the same time, if you went to the About Us page, I could just get your email. So if you're going to have an email icon, just let me email you.
Absolutely.
Or then I can send it or email it to someone else. But I wanted to look at the nav bar to see, again, what does this company do? They've got shop by category, shop by manufacturer, so they clearly sell something. Then they have this, which looks like gobbledygook. I'm not sure. So it appears to be something that is trademarked, and it looks like it is building automation and management system.
Yep. So maybe make it for proprietary.
We kind of already know they have a software element. So we do kind of wish on the nav bar it said, you know, let's solve your problems. Like, do you need parts? Do you need software to run your company? Do you need a custom board? What are the solutions that you are giving the customer to their problems?
So we have some more information, which is great. But what do I do with this information?
Oh,
what
don't you want to
with
sign
it?
up?
Well,
can you sign
up for what? For a newsletter about what? But I mean,
so
there needs. What are we missing? I think
what
we're
Tria's
totally
hinting
missing
at is an action item for you to get a consultation or an estimate to run this software yourself and to see how this software could solve problems for you.
Absolutely. There needs to be some kind of call to action. I mean, it's great. So we've got this. Now we've got panel fabrication. This is pretty. It has a lot of.
This was my favorite page because this is the first time I really started to understand what this company does. So I wish this was included a little bit more either in the home or the About Us page where you have those 4 things. We sell parts to help connect the smarts. We have software to help you run the brain, but we can also build you a brain. So these 3 things, there might be a 4th stream of revenue, engineering services. So there are a few different things this company seems to do in this space, but I had to dig for it. So on the homepage, I'd rather see like, these are the 4 ways we can help you. Click through to the solutions.
And on every single one of these, I mean, this is great information, but if somebody is, I guess they could go down to the bottom, they could call a number, they could, I mean, they could
the email's on the About Us page. Yeah.
Right. I mean, those are a lot of
steps. Put it in the footer. Yeah, just put it in the footer.
Or just add it, I mean, at least right here, right? When you put a call to action, like, get in touch with me. I want,
the call to action should be at the top.
Yeah.
Like, scroll back up to the top. What do we got? We got a search bar and nothing else. Like, where's the button that says contact? Like, there's contact us page, but is there live chat? Is there email? Is there a phone number on the mobile? Which I didn't look at the mobile on this one. I'm sure, hopefully there's a phone number you can just direct call.
Right. But this is, I mean, at this point,
go ahead.
At this point, like, there needs to be something here. Like, there's a lot of information going on about us. There's a tech support page. So
About Us, contact us, and homepage could all be the same. And if you go back up to the top, I think you can actually make that. So shop by category and shop by manufacturer, that's just shop. There's shop, software, panel fabrication, and support. And you can have your About Us homepage where it kind of goes over the 4 or 5 things and solutions you provide, how long you've been in business, how you're so reliable, how all your engineers are certified, where you can be reached, yada, yada, yada. But then you have less choices so that people can get to, you know, basically giving you their money faster.
Absolutely. So let's just, I want to, before we end, like, I want to make, just image not available.
Oh, no. You know what this would be a good place for?
That icon.
Any of the icons, absolutely.
Any of the, so that, right. So when you go shop by category and you have these little icons, if you don't have the image, totally fine.
Use your icon.
Use your icon.
Otherwise,
you know it's not a real image.
It can look broken. So you should have your icons, and then you can also keep being seen as like the provider and the best out there for that service. Really clean, really put together, buttoned up, paying attention to details. And I feel like these guys pay attention to details.
Oh, there's no doubt. So so I can add to cart directly from here. So what happens when I add to cart? I go directly to the shopping cart.
Why did they do that to me? I was very happy on my page shopping. Now I have to click back.
I know.
Like
now I want
New York.
I want
so
more,
hard
right?
to click back.
I know. Now I got to go back. Remember, I was just put it in the cart. Keep going. I think I was.
Yeah. They have better solutions now where you can actually see it be added to your cart. So you get that little notification. You can go there if you want to, but we're not going to keep forcing this journey because maybe it's just me, but I'm not usually there to buy one thing and leave.
Right.
I feel like that's my dad. And maybe my dad is an engineer that works on panels and he just buys one thing and leaves. I don't know. But let's give me the opportunity to just finish my job, especially if you have purchasers, people who are in charge of the purchasing for the company. They're not going to buy one thing and leave. But if you do that to them every single time they add something to their cart, it'd be super frustrating.
Right.
And you want those big lists, those big dollar bills.
I do like being able to estimate my shipping. Like if there's some big items, that's pretty cool. So I could do that. I hope I don't have to though. If I just proceed to checkout, so I need to create an account or I need to be a returning customer. So
I don't know enough about their business to know if that's required.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I do prefer guest checkout when possible.
Yeah, if you can. I mean, that's completely ideal. I know you're
going to get their email anyway. You know, when they check out, you're going to get their email anyway. There's no reason to like do this. You know, there's other solutions to make the account creation as part of the checkout after the purchase, like assigning, you know, there's just other ways than forcing, I was about to give you money and now I have to take a coffee break. I'm going to forget.
Right. So checkout, let's just look at it really quickly. And then I want to look at the lower navigation just a little bit because I know there's some things in there. So checkout, it looks to me like, I mean, it looks, I'm hoping this is just going to be kind of open up each one, kind of a one-page checkout experience, which would be kind of nice. This feels clean overall, feels pretty clean. Not bad about that. Your subscribe to newsletter is like constantly here.
Is there a better call to action?
Yeah, I mean, like, is that a real thing? That if there's like some really cool news coming out, like,
are you really doing a newsletter? No one's really doing a newsletter anymore. Everybody's kidding. They just want your email. No, I'm kidding. No, I did see that they offer some webinars, so maybe that would be better. Like, would you like to be notified for our next webinar?
That's the reason I want to go to this lower nav, right? So there's some like cool stuff down here, right? So it talks about industry served. So we're in here and like, this is cool. This also tells me, it tells me building automation.
Should be on that, software page, because then I can see what I'm doing here. Yeah.
This totally makes sense for me. Like I could totally see putting something like this onto the homepage. Like we can bring information in, like, I like this page. This is pretty good. They also have safety compliance. So,
we Googled this, the UL certificate. It's a red logo with a big UL in it. Put that on everything. Put that in your bottom header. Like, I'm certified, I'm extra certified, I do green stuff. Like, be just generous with any of your awards, any of your certificates, any of the things that make you stand out, any extra programs you've finished. Just keep driving home that customer value of quality.
Totally. Obviously, I'm going to pick some images here, which is cool. I mean, it happens. And then here's the one other thing, and then we'll open it for questions because I know we have a tendency to talk a little bit, just as who we are. Webinars. Look, they've got webinars, they've got case studies, videos. Like, where would you put this, Jasmine? Like, this is in the footer.
Yeah, that's too bad, because you could just have, like, again, on the header, shop, you know,
Or even under
or your
a
4
sub-nav.
solutions.
Or even a sub-nav under About Us could be like
You know,
this kind of stuff. Like
resources up there. Would be good.
Education.
absolutely,
you know,
Andy.
resources.
Resources is perfect.
Learn, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So just having something that you can actually go and find out more information. And like, if they actually have some webinars and they have some case studies, like that's cool. Like, let's put that let's put that up there so people can access it.
And if
I
some of
love
these
that.
videos, don't hide them behind a link. Put the video up. Let me watch it now. Don't make me go click around. Look at Andy's eyes. He's like, I'm a content creator. Stop hiding content.
Totally. Yeah.
Like, bring
unless
it.
unless it's bad, then hide it. Just don't even link to it.
Love that. Love that. So, well, I'm getting pinged. We're 3 minutes away. I'm sure that there's more things that we can talk about. I don't know, Ben, if there's any questions or anything like that, or we could keep doing this all day.
No questions so far, but right now let's open it up for the Q&A section. If you can use the chat, if you have any burning questions, and our panelists will answer. If not, you can just go ahead and keep going up until the wire, and then we can call it 3:30.
Absolutely.
Overall, not a lot to roast here. Just some like simplification, some polish, some trimming down of the funnels, and speaking to your audience and how you can help them. I feel like there are a lot of engineers involved here, and the designer was involved at some point, but it's still very regimented. So like making that a little bit more friendly. I don't know, maybe they don't want friendly and they just want the facts. So you got to know your own audience, but I feel like there's a little bit more that we could be doing to position this company as the leader.
I mean, certainly we need to change out the homepage a bit, provide some more information. I think there's opportunity. Search is here. Maybe there is even an opportunity you can put it up here, make it more prominent instead of just having Ingenuity systems. Actually,
don't forget my tagline.
I was going to say, don't you have a tagline? So
dude, even cops have taglines right on the car. Protect and serve in big letters. Like, where's your tagline?
And I think there's a ton of room up here for that. Changing out the navigation. We're not talking about like major changes. Like, the site needs to be thrown away and put back together. I mean, there's a lot of great content. Yeah. There's a lot of good content here. So there's just some tweaking and some maneuvering that we can do to just take some of the information that's down at the bottom, take some information, like, let's restructure this. I mean, the products are important, but like, figure out what do you want to show?
And we've been to the site.
I know, and we've been to the site.
The last 5 pounds hardest to lose. And when you're packing your house, it's like that last little bit of clutter, like the hangers. You don't want to throw that away because it's useful someday. Just be brutal.
Yeah, absolutely.
My question is there someone from Ingenuity on the call with us today, or?
Oh, good question, Andy.
Yeah, it looks like Mike was on earlier.
If I would not come to my own roast, I would be. I would get the video recording. I'd be like,
is that Mike McKenna that I'm engaging with on Q&A?
It could be. I don't see him in the attendees.
Okay.
Is he still on? Is he still talking to you, Andy?
I don't know if he's still, no, because I had a couple of people drop off. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like he dropped off after he asked the question.
So I think one of his questions is there a template, something that they can use, or do they have to have something completely custom? I mean, I think there are obviously there's going to be templates out there, right, Andy, that you can.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about the front end, then sure, there's a couple of templates you can use. Talking about the back end, there's a lot that you can do with back end development, straight out of the box on Magento too. So
for sure.
Yeah, it just like it depends on your site, right? If it's something like this site, then yeah, it could definitely benefit from just kind of a standard, template that we have. There's probably hundreds of them, right?
Oh yeah.
But if it's something that's a little richer, that has configurators and customizers, and maybe not. So it just kind of really depends on I think the level of complexity in your browsing experience, your customer experience. That's my take, and I'll
Yeah.
defer to you guys on what you think.
Yeah. No, I think some of the changes that we're recommending aren't like major. I mean, there's some tweaking that can be done. A lot great with the site overall. I know we're a little bit past time. Definitely want to thank everybody for coming. Let me just put like our contact information up here again. If anybody needs to reach out to us or wants to, we are definitely here for you. I so appreciate, Andy. Thank you so much for joining. And Jasmine, it's always a pleasure to hang out with you and have a little fun.
Yeah, it's always fun to see what other people are doing because we get so mired in our own projects that, yeah, and we look at a variety of sites, like good, bad. This one is, I think, nice. It's just nice to see that something's so clean that doesn't need a ton of polish.
The participants learn something, and we learn something every time we do one of these too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks everybody. We'll see you next time.
See you guys. Thank you.